So, the mindset to play the money game. Our mindset is the first essential system. That's why I've spent the last probably best part of 11 sessions on our mindset because we have to create a firm, solid, powerful foundation to move from. And our mindset is where everything flows from. So, rather than ignorance, awareness is the antidote. And we move through stages from ignorance to awareness. There's not an epiphany one day and you suddenly wake up and you become financially intelligent. It's a process. And people who claim they can teach you that process in 1 or 10 or even 20 sessions, really, either they don't know that they don't know that you can't do that, or they know you can't do that and they're unfortunately misleading because it's impossible. It is a process. And the reason it's a process is because when you have a mindset shift and you have a belief shift, you then have to operate through that belief. You then see how your management system and your processes works because you've now got a new belief system that you're operating your systems and processes. You prove that out. And then you get feedback. You look at the feedback, which then tweaks your belief. And it's this circular cycle. It's not just a linear process. It's not just, oh, now I'm there. It's a circular process. So you prove out your belief, you prove out your action, you prove out your system, you prove out your process. You then get your results, you reflect on your results, you look at your financial analysis, you look at that compared to your goal, how far you've progressed, and then you look at it again and you find that you start to create financial resilience, which is your character. And you only get financial resilience when you start to prove out things, you start to see things, and you start to see them working. And when they don't work, you fix it. And that is a process. As I said before, even the owners of the money game, they go through a process. They go through a process of starting as financially uninitiated, and they learn and are taught and are tutored and mentored to become financially intelligent. It's not just an ability that people have inherently, it's learned. So, how? Well, awareness. First, education, practice, planning, playing by the strategies, the systems, and the processes, tweaking, reflecting, starting again, and winning. And that's just a lovely little cycle. And when you get that cycle working, it's actually really quite exciting because you can monitor your progress, track your progress, celebrate your progress, set new goals, and then you're building, 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 building. Your foundation's building. You've got a strong foundation because you've achieved that goal. You've achieved that goal. You've seen that work. You've seen that work. You've actually solved that problem. You've moved on. You've created financial resilience, and you're on your way to winning. Even owners, they are trained. They're trained to think like owners because they weren't owners when they started. And then they play as owners. So the mindset to adopt is think like an owner of the money game, play like an owner. And then we too can win like the owners of the money game. And there are a number of empowerment keys from that particular part, which I thought were important. The first one was an empowered perception. Now, that empowered perception is the reality in the money game that ignorance is not bliss. If you had shifted from believing that ignorance is bliss to ignorance is not bliss, that is a huge mindset shift and has created a deep value in you because now you'll be looking for the rules. You'll be open to the awareness of the rules and then playing by the rules. Before that, if you're ignorant to it, you wouldn't have a clue that you didn't have a clue. Vital knowledge. Well, vital knowledge. Ignorance is not a defense in the money game. Ignorance is harmful and causes loss. That is a huge value because if you'd have relied on ignorance for a defense, unknowingly, you'll have felt the cost of that. So now you can position yourself with awareness. And positioning in the money game is key. And we found that awareness is actually the antidote to ignorance. So becoming aware through education, through trial, through our processes, through working on our systems, through working at our goals and working towards our financial freedom point. Action. Again, education, to think like an owner, to learn and practice and play the money game like an owner, which we can. It's all open and available if we know how. And that's what we're here for in the Money Fitness community, to learn how. Protection. This is an empowerment key. You won't be played if you're aware of the rules and know the rules. And possibility, the possibility of winning and becoming financially free.